Hey folks, welcome back to the shop. It is summertime here in Massachusetts, which means that along with warmer temperatures comes humidity. I'm sure a lot of you are no stranger to that as well where you are from. But I wanted to talk a little bit today about rust. I do take some precautions to try and minimize the risk of rust. But as you just saw, I did get a chance to discover that my combo square had a spot of rust on it. So I wanted to figure out why that was and see what I could do to prevent any further occurrence of that. So I want to talk a little bit about that today. First off, what I'll show you is the French cleat holder that I use for the combo square. Looks like this. So I have my little square right there, and this guy, the combo square, goes there. Now what I found was that I took this off to check some work, and there was a big old spot of rust on it. So I went back and I took a look at the French cleat holder itself. Now one thing about moisture in the shop is I think part of the solution is good airflow. You want no exposed metal surfaces to have complete contact with a piece of wood, and I think that's what happened here, is that the action of this sitting on there like that caused moisture to kind of get trapped between the wooden piece here and the metal of the combo square. So what I do, in the case of say my hand planes, and this is my jack plane here, but to prevent some rust, you'll see I have a little piece glued right here, just a little piece of wood. That way the whole sole of the plane is not lying flat on this piece here. So this piece of wood that I have glued here, there is a point of contact right on the edge right here, and the other point of contact is right down here. The rest is a little bit of space between the metal and the wood. Therefore, you should have some air in between that moisture doesn't get trapped there and it's allowed to move. So that's what I did not do on the French cleat holder for my combo square. So thinking I did that for my hand planes, I went ahead and I glued a small piece of wood right here. So now, when I put the combo square there, there are 2 points of contact, one right in the edge here and one right where that little piece of wood is glued down there. Now I have some air in between the metal and the wood holding the square on the French cleat holder. So to prevent rust in general, I have this product called Slip It. I believe I got it from Grizzly when I ordered my table saw, but for my joiner, planer, table saw, and the table of my bandsaw, I use this, and what it does is it kind of seals the metal, helps prevent rust, but it's not sticky, so it helps your workpiece glide over it really easily. It does say there's no silicone products in here, so it should not affect any finishes, and I've never had an experience where a finish was affected because of this. Now for my hand tools, for the chisels, hand planes, etc., I use Lee Nielsen's jojoba oil. I know it looks like jojoba oil, but it's pronounced jojoba oil. A little bit of this goes a long way as well, and I keep a jar with microfiber cloth in it, and what I usually do is I just spritz a little bit in the bottom of the jar, or you can actually even pour just a little bit in. And I usually just keep the rag right in there. So there's always a little bit of oil right on the rag and it's ready to go. You can also spray it right on the rag itself, and you can use that to wipe down a nice thin coat on your hand planes, the blades, shoulder plane, whatever bare metal surfaces you'd like to use there. Now I know Lee Nielsen used to sell something called camellia oil, and I did have that. I personally found that it went on a little bit thick. I was also probably putting too much on, but when I spoke to one of the gentlemen that work at Lee Nielsen's at one of their events, he did say that they stopped carrying it because people were giving them feedback that it was creating a little bit of a film. So I would recommend the jojoba oil for that. right, so what to do in the case where rust has already occurred. For instance, I have a spot on my table saw that I needed to take care of. My son had a drink at his desk and he accidentally spilled it. It was just some water. But being in an old house, it actually dripped through the floorboard and right on top of the table saw, and had a nice little spot right on the one of the extension wings. Didn't cause any permanent damage. There is a stain there. It'll always be there. I just have to shrug it off and say, you know what, it doesn't affect the function. We'll just move on. So I took care of that. In the case of the combo square here, I use the same method. Now I use this thing called Sandflex. This is something I got from Lee Nielsen as well at one of their events. They sell these to help take care of rust. Now you'll notice that the spot of rust, there's a stain there. That'll always be there. Again, it doesn't affect the function. You just take some of this, rub it on. It just abrades that rust off, and then when you're done, you can go back to your jojoba oil and the rag and wipe that down. Now, because this is a combo square, and of course that needs to be square, and where you are taking just a minute amount of material off that, you do want to check it for square. So to do that, just hold it up there, draw a line, and then you want to flip it over. And making sure you're nice and square. And draw out another line. Now what these lines will do are, they should be parallel. And when I measure, 1/4 inch there, and 1/4 inch there. So that tells me that the square is indeed square. Alright guys, so tell me what you guys do for rust prevention in your shop. I mean, do you do some of the same things I do? Do you do something different? Like anything, there's probably a gazillion ways you can get something done in the shop, whether it be preventing rust or some other thing, right? So, if you like what I'm doing, please feel free to subscribe, and I would appreciate it. And thanks again for watching. Take care.